Hello my Viking.TV friends, it's good to be with you again. I'm back in Oslo, which is kind of becoming a second home for me now. And the reason I'm here is to have a conversation with one of the leading lights of the Norwegian art scene. Her name is Tone Hansen, and she's none other than the director of the building right behind me, the Munch Museum. So let's jump right in and go and meet her. So Tone, here we are in the Munch Museum. This is your world, and I'd like to just go back to an interview that you gave in 2022, when you said that becoming director of the Munch Museum in Oslo would be, and I'm quoting you here, your dream job, and you would find it tremendous fun. And let me begin by asking you, is that still the case now you've been here for 2 years?
It is still my dream job, and it is tremendously fun. But of course also a lot of responsibility. It's a huge building, as you can see from here. It's a large audience. We attract, between 800 and 750,000 people a year.
Gosh.
So it's also a lot of responsibility that comes with the fun.
What's the best part of your job? What would you say?
It is when I meet my staff and we plan for the next exhibition. We sit down and we talk through the possibilities. Everyone is contributing, from market, from commercial, from sponsors, to look at what can we do with these artists and how can we bring this work ahead. And the wonderful thing about the Munch Museum now is that, yes, we are a single artist museum. We take care of Edvard Munch and all the heritage from him, but we can also make exhibitions with artists, contemporary and modern. So the possibility of combining both what is going on today, to be really, really at the nerve of what's going on, but at the same time also taking care of the history and presenting that and making history relevant for the audience today is an amazing part of the job.
Tone, when did you first in your life become aware of the work, the man, Edvard Munch?
As a Norwegian citizen, you learn about Edvard Munch in school. So I must have known about Munch for a long time, but in my teenagers I discovered Munch. I discovered the drama between women and men, all the love and passion and the erotic side to Edvard Munch that was so strong for me. So that's my first memory of Edvard Munch. It's when it's really touched my heart, it's with the drama.
So could we say it was love at first sight?
It was absolutely love at first sight, and I was very much into drawing and making works myself from an early stage, and I remember sitting down and trying to copy drawings by Munch to learn, to figure how could I make this drama my own.
And if, as a teenager, I'd said to you, Tone, one day you'll be director of the Munch Museum in Oslo, you would have fallen off your chair, wouldn't you?
I would have, yes. I wouldn't be able to expect that to happen at all, no.
Well, congratulations on the job.
Thank you, thank you.
By a miracle, a Viking ship has just docked over the other side of the bay from us, or the harbour. And I know that guests will be coming here very shortly to visit you at the museum. Can you just say something about how that guest experience is enhanced by the fact of Viking being partners with the Munch Museum?
Absolutely. The first thing we do is to bring them up to the boardroom, and that's a room where only our partners can use. From there they are brought down to the conservator studios, where they can get a really, really exclusive look behind the scenes on how we take care of Edvard Munch's paintings and prints for eternity. And that's something that we only do for the guests from Viking.
That's pretty special.
It is pretty special. We also take them on a guided tour where they can, of course, both see the Scream and the Vampire and Madonna and some of the highlights from the collection.
Wonderful. Tone, you were educated in fine arts. You have a background in painting, I think.
I do.
At what point did you decide painting's not for me? I'm going to go into the administrative side of the art world.
Well, I stopped being an artist just after art school, actually. But I didn't go into administration at all. I went into curating, which is an equally fascinating part of the art world, of making exhibitions. And I found myself being more interested in making other people creative and making it possible for them to express themselves and to be part of that process than being alone in the studio. Because if you look at the life of Edvard Munch, how tough isn't it to be, on your own all the time? You get up in the morning, you have to motivate yourself, you go to the studio, you paint on your own, you go home, you're alone again. And you have good days, you have bad days, you have success, you have failure, and you have to live through all of that with trust that you are the best artist ever. Otherwise, it's really tough to survive as an artist. So I found myself to be far more interested in other people's art than my own. That's the first thing, and also that it is a creative act being part of the process of making an exhibition happen. And that's, where art meets its audience. And to be in between the artist and the audience and making that meeting possible through an institution is what curating is all about.
It takes courage to be an artist. It's a lonely life.
A lot of courage and a lot of a lifetime commitment to what you do yourself.
And tell me, does the Munch Museum engage with artists out here in the city working? Do you engage with Norwegian artists, contemporary artists?
We do, absolutely. Edvard Munch donated his collection to the city of Oslo. So we have a commitment to the city, to the people living here, and to the artists also working here. So we have an own dedicated program helping young artists to get a scene. It's called Solo Oslo, and every year we invite an artist in to make a new production with us that we exhibit on the 10th floor. It's a small exhibition space, and then we create a program around that artist to promote that artist. So we are absolutely involved in the contemporary art scene here in the city as well.
Because museums aren't just about the past, are they? They should be obviously about the present, and the future as well.
Yes. I mean, a museum always makes things, whatever we show, present. And we have to make it also relevant for our time. And the interest in, for instance, Munch changes, 50 years ahead. We don't know really what the audience would like to see, but we know that the richness of Munch's production will always feed us with something that we can present that is relevant for that time. That's a good thing about Edvard Munch.
So this is Trembling Earth?
This is Trembling Earth, yes. I mean, the absolute new discovery for me that is not in our collection is this one, that I haven't seen before, and it's from.
Gosh, aren't they wonderful?
It's at the Dallas Museum.
Uh-huh.
But it's you can understand the whole, trembling earth in it, right?
Well, I think what I like about this is that it kind of contradicts a lot of what people's perceptions of Munch are.
Yes.
That he's a sort of merchant of doom and gloom and melancholy and
Absolutely.
sadness and sick children. And this is all about nature and literally trembling nature.
Yes.
Yeah.
And new beginnings. If you look at the logs, the yellow log that you see here,
Yeah.
it's freshly cut, of course. You do this in the winter because then you can transport the timber on snow, so it's easier to get it out. But the amazing thing for me is the contrast between the purple trees and the yellow. So this is all about painting. The yellow and the purple is contrasting each other. You have the white snow, but you also have these lines that are a grid painted on top of it. So it's the modernist grid is there to create the really feeling of space in that room. Mm-hmm. So this is where Munch is also demonstrating how skilled he is at understanding space and room and 3 dimensions. And it's so full of life, although we know that this tree is dead. It's going to become something else, It's the beginning of another life for that. So this is, I think this is an amazing work by Munch, showing that it's more to him than sadness and death. It's also new beginnings.
Could we talk about this as a celebration of nature, do you think? Or would that be going too far?
Yeah, it's a celebration of new beginnings, of new possibilities, I would say, because this timber is going from one situation to another. And we are seeing it right in the transmission from being a tree to becoming maybe a chair or a house or something else. But it's also a celebration of work, of labor,
Right.
of the hard labor that is put into the making this possible.
Yeah.
In the snow, in the cold. Well, I promise to take you to the work that is kind of brought me to Munch, and talking about being a teenager and with all the emotions that you have in your body at that time, and discovering Madonna. Madonna leaning towards the background here, standing but still enjoying life, enjoying herself, and with this red halo around her head that would, usually be blue, but here it's red. So she's kind of filling the whole picture, this woman.
Because this
She's
painting
proud,
was... sorry to interrupt you. The painting was very controversial at the time.
Absolutely.
Because it shows a woman in ecstasy.
Yes. And also that she owns the whole painting, She's kind of filling the whole frame. She owns that space herself. And with all these red colors almost swimming around her, I think that's an amazing painting.
So this one you'd take and put it on your wall if you could?
Well, if the insurance could pay for the cost of securing my house, I would have loved to have
It's certainly one I'd love to
painting
have.
in my house, yes.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
Yes. But luckily, Munch gave his work to the public, so everybody can enjoy it here. They just have to come here. And that's, also the best thing about being a museum director is that you make this available to a larger audience than if you keep it at home.
What I love about this painting is this arm here going back behind the head.
She's kind of disappearing into the space, but that's the thing with Munch, that he's a figurative painter, but the emotions are more important than making it anatomically correct, even though we know Munch really knew what he was doing. And this relationship of disappearing into something that is totally abstract and becoming a figure is this is kind of a movement in Munch. He makes his people move.
He makes his people move. That's a great ending, yeah.
Now I'm going to take you to another behind the scenes.
Excellent.
And it's not so exclusive because this is where all the kids go.
Okay,
And
well, that's
I'm
fine by
taking
me.
you to the workshops where children are making their own impressions.
Because children, they're your future clients, your future guests, your future visitors to the museum.
They are the future parents bringing their children to the museum. They are our guests and they're treated like royals.
Gosh, what have we got here, Tuna?
Welcome to a real treat. This is where you don't want to leave, no? This is the children's space. This is the workshop. This is where we do all kinds of things, from making small dolls to creating banners to painting, big paintings. And now it's a cutout for the city. So here's a whole city being developed.
Gosh.
This is where we bring school children, but also arrange other kinds of workshops during the weekends for children that sign up for it.
You know, I look at this and I wish I'd had this when I was a child. This would have been heaven.
Ah, me too.
Really.
Maybe our life would have looked very different if we had a chance to do this.
Maybe I could pretend to be a small child and come back here.
Yeah.
It's actually rather wonderful. I mean, look at all the paints, all the colours. And how many children would you have at a time in here?
Around 20 to 30 maximum. We have 2 spaces like this.
Mm-hmm.
Kids coming here meet real people that is actually making art also in their professional time.
Fantastic.
So they learn from the professionals.
Uh-huh.
And we change subject depending also on the exhibitions that we have up at the moment. So they usually combine learning about the exhibitions or about Edvard Munch, and then they come down here and they make their own, like that one.
Look at that. I mean, that's extremely good painting.
Yeah, I can assure you that it's not an Edvard Munch.
No, but if you told me it was, I'd believe you. No, it's a great space. I love it. I like the smell of it. You know?
Yeah, a real workshop.
Tone, it just remains for me to thank you for giving me, us, Viking.TV, your time and telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do here at the Munch Museum. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the luck and success in the future.
Thank you, and welcome back.
Thank you.
I'd love to see you here again.
Oh, I will be back, I can guarantee it.